Hi, I'm Dr. Shikha Sharma, and today I'll be talking about why intermittent fasting, which was considered excellent at a point of time, after certain time, it was seen through researches that it's very, very, very harmful. So, what is intermittent fasting and why intermittent fasting may not be useful and may be actually harmful is what we'll be discussing today. So, first, let's talk about that what is the meaning of intermittent fasting and how intermittent fasting can be uh, done correctly or what are the side effects of intermittent fasting. So step number one, what we need to do is we need to see that intermittent fasting is based on a phenomena which is fasting for 8 hours, fasting for 16 hours and eating for 8 hours. So the focus is that when you give your body the time to fast for 16 hours, the body has enough time to remove all the toxins and other things which your body doesn't need. And then after you have fasted and the body has done its breakdown, then it is possible for you to start eating so that your body can get its nourishment. Now, what are the things which people went wrong? So, what people went wrong was that number one, during the intermittent fasting, they got the timing wrong. And wrong timing means that you have to start your fast before sunset. Slightly before sunset, you have to start so that you get enough time during the body's healing cycle to stay fasting. In the body's healing cycle, if you're fasting, your healing is better. So at night, after sunset, the body's healing cycle starts. And during that time, the body is getting all its energy by converting the stored energy and releasing the stored energy. So the body, if it's empty, if the stomach is empty, all that blood supply can go away from stomach into those areas where healing has to happen. Now imagine if your fasting is happening at 10 p.m. You start your fasting at 10 p.m. That means you miss between 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. the entire cycle, which was a healing cycle. And since you have eaten now at 9:30 or 10 p.m., the blood which should have gone for the healing has now gone for digestion to the intestine, for the stomach. So that's mistake number one, is the timing of starting the fast. The mistake number two is when we start late, we end the cycle late. So if you have started at 10 p.m. or even 9 p.m., let's say, you get only 3 hours of one day for fasting. And then to do a 16-hour fast, you have to do 13 hours of fasting the next day, which means that you are almost ending at 1:30 or 2 p.m. the next day, which means that all those 16 hours are now coming in between your feeding cycle. What is the feeding cycle? The feeding cycle is that between 10 a.m. and 2 to 3 p.m., you should always eat because that's the time the highest digestive enzymes are going on in your body. And if you're not eating, these digestive enzymes, which are very, very acidic, have to be reabsorbed by the body, making the body extremely extremely acidic. And this acidity starts a chain reaction of gallbladder stones, kidney stones, peptic ulcer, and gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD. Which means this is the reason why a lot of people who are intermittent fasting were not getting benefits. Instead, they were getting side effects because their fasting cycle was starting at the wrong time and ending at the wrong time. That's another issue. Another issue which we noticed amongst the people who were doing intermittent fasting was that they were breaking the fast wrong. So a lot of people, when it was time to break the fast, they were in their offices and they did not have access to things which they should be eating. So they're breaking the fast with tea, coffee, maybe some biscuits. Maybe they were ordering something from outside and having it. All these foods are not the right foods to break a fasting cycle. Fasting cycle should always be broken by having things which are exceptionally alkaline, like figs, like coconut water. These are alkaline foods which help you to break a fast. And it's been written about in all the scriptures how to break a fast. It's a very important part of fasting is how to break a fast. It's not just a random thing, okay, I have to break my fast, let's have a sandwich or let's have a coffee or, you can't do that. It's harmful for the body. So that was the rule which was broken, number 2 rule. Now, if you look at number 3 rule, what was really happening was that even during the feeding cycle of 8 hours, people who were doing intermittent fasting were eating those foods which they wanted to eat, like binge eat. They were not having those foods which would help their body to recover, heal, regenerate. They were not providing the raw material for their bodies, which would help their bodies to regenerate. So, how will it benefit? It's like repairing, it's like first breaking an old bridge and then repairing it with substandard raw material because the raw material is not right. And similarly, the food, which is the raw material, was not right. And that was hurting people even more. So, all that effort of fasting, and then you're repairing with raw material, which is substandard. It's deficient in potassium, chloride, sodium, calcium, vitamin A, B, C, nothing is there. It's just refined food or fried food or packaged food or food with very low prana energy, very low life energy. So all these things finally led to intermittent fasting causing several disorders. Many researchers today are coming up and showing that the way intermittent fasting was done was so wrong that people landed up with heart problems, gallbladder problems, acidic problems, ulcer problems. So the question is, if you use the protocol incorrectly, you destroy the protocol and you harm yourself. So fasting is prevalent in all religions. It's a technique, it's a science. It's not some random thing which people do. This technique has to be followed the way all techniques have to be followed in the proper structure. You cannot just do fasting randomly. So, firstly, it's a science, it's a technique. The science has 3 parts: how much fasting to do, what is the timing of the fast, how to break the fast, and finally, what to eat during the feeding cycle if you're repeating the fast, which intermittent fasting followers do. They keep repeating it for several days and weeks to get some desired result. And finally, I would say that during the fasting, hydration is very, very, very critical. You cannot just do a fast for long periods of time if you're not hydrating yourself because it will be harmful for your body. So, all the followers of intermittent fasting, if you really want to read about intermittent fasting, we have something on our website. Please do read, educate yourself. So, whatever you do with your bodies, it should be done in an educated, scientific way so that you don't harm yourself. And as a medical doctor, the one thing which I've always thought is the body what we get. There's only one body per life. We don't get an extra body. There is no supplement body which you'll get if you destroy this. So understand your body, honor your body, and you can live in this body healthily throughout your life. This body is the highest asset class one can have, and therefore honor your body, educate yourself so that you know how to take care of your body. So take care, stay healthy, And do read that article, which would be in the description box.